Guys, Willie here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're reviewing the facelifted 2024 Ford F-150 STX.
And a big thanks to Chris and the rest of the management and staff here at AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Brooksville, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Chris.
And for those of you guys who don't know, Ford introduced the F-150 as their light-duty full-size pickup between the F-100 and F-250 back in 1975. It was part of the 6th generation of the Ford F-Series pickup, and here we have the 14th generation of the Ford F-Series pickup, released back in 2022, and the 9th generation of the Ford F-150. For 2024, the F-150 gets a facelift featuring a new grille, new lights, wheels, and optional features, such as a new side hinge tailgate option allowing easier access to the back of the bed. The base V6 engine has also been dropped in favor of the twin-turbo 2.7-liter V6 that we have here, and we're ranging from a $37,000 base price on the XL up to an $83,000 base price on the all-new Platinum Plus. Here we have the STX, which is probably the biggest value trim for the 2024 Ford F-150 with a $44,000 base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, as we mentioned, we get new lights, a new grille, we get a new bumper down below too with our intercooler, active shutters for the intercooler and the radiator. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. We get black headlight housing for the STX, full LED headlamps for the high and low beam, LED daytime running light, and an LED fog light down below. Aggressive, bold hood design and a really clean look in front end, especially with the standard LED headlamps. My 2023 Ram Bighorn does not get LEDs. I'm kind of jealous here that the F-150, even on the STX, gets them. The wheel and tire setup's also really nice for a relatively base STX trim. We get these gunmetal gray and silver contrasted 20-inch rims wrapped in pretty beefy Goodyear, Wrangler, Territory all-season tires. The dimensions are 275/60 R20s, and with these 60 series sidewall tires, the ride quality, even on this relatively base STX trim, the ride quality is unbelievably plush. We get some green contrast for this heat extractor area, chrome F-150 STX logo. I kind of wish we had a red contrast, but even with this green contrast, it looks pretty cool. We get black contrasted mirrors, blind spot monitoring on the glass. That's also a really premium touch for an STX. No smart access, unfortunately. We do get a remote key with a remote unlock and remote lock, but it's also a twist key for the start. So if you want to get push button start, you got to go up to at least the XLT. But overall, we have a really clean side profile. Take a step back, hopefully you can pick it up. With the STX package, yes, we are getting basically similar features out of the XL, but you get the nicer wheels, body color molding, LED lighting, and just an overall very premium looking exterior considering the base price. We'll take a quick look at this gas cap, which is an easy fill, and then take a step over to the opposite side. Hopefully you guys can pick up the window sticker for this 2024 Ford F-150 two-wheel drive Super Crew STX with a 2.7-liter V6 EcoBoost, carbonized gray metallic exterior, black STX cloth interior, 10-speed automatic transmission, and loaded with standard features considering the base price. Options, we really don't have a whole lot. $48,230 for the Super Crew STX. Destination and delivery is about $2,000, but we get an STX discount also of $2,000. So totaling us out around $48,225. No, we don't have four-wheel drive, but outside of that, this is an unbelievably loaded full-size pickup. We get the same rear wheel and tire setup as up front. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper, single exhaust tip. The F-150 is available with dual tips, but it's not available here, or at least it's not here on this particular STX. I like these white outlines now for the Ford logo. Backup camera as part of the tailgate latch. Shout out AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. F-150 etched into the tailgate. We get rear parking sensing on the STX too. Tow hitch, I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much this truck can tow and the payload capacity. The tailgate, we can pull this latch down. We get a damp tailgate standard on the STX. Also an appreciated feature. No bed liner, but you go to Line-X, get it done for about $600. We also have the bottle can opener here in the corner. Nice feature. Taillights are LED for the turn signals and the reverse lights as well. We get some storage cubbies in the corners of this bed too. You can throw some car accessories in there that you wouldn't like to get wet. Same thing on the opposite side. Hopefully you pick it all up on camera. No LED third brake light, but that's about it for this bed area. We can lift this tailgate right back up. No step, it is optional but not available here, or not equipped here on this STX. I really like these taillights. There's black taillight housing that says Ford in it. Really cool design. You get a body color rear bumper too, spare tire, and hopefully you get a good look at the differential. Exhaust tip, and speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6, and here how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.7 liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6 sold by Ford for the 2024 F-150 STX, which is now the standard power plant, cranking out 325 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This specific truck is just available with rear-wheel drive, weighing in a tick under 5,000 pounds. You can expect 0 to 60 in around 5.7 seconds, which yes, is about half a second slower than the 3.5, but it's competitive with the 5.0. So to have a base power plant doing 0 to 60 numbers that quickly, big thumbs up to Ford. Appreciate the hydraulic struts. We can shut this hood right down, take a step back, walk around this 2024 F-150 STX one more time. And let's take a step inside and see what we get with a sub $50,000 base price. We get blind spot monitoring on the glass, if we didn't mention. No smart access though. Taking a step inside, just hard plastic up top of premium feeling materials. Lock and unlock, auto one touch up front, 4-way adjustable mirrors, power windows out back, latch to open up the door, cushy soft leather armrest, and 2 tiers of storage with a ton of storage down below one of your speakers. No nameplate stepping inside. The seats, they say Ford on the outline. They have green contrast in them. They're just cloth and they're manual adjusted. You can still recline. Adjust the lumbar control with the latch to slide back and forth underneath. Here's the latch to open up the hood. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake. We don't have a push button for the engine start stop, but the key is electronic. So instead of holding it, you just gotta give it one flick and the engine fires right to life. But first thing we notice is just how premium this interior is. Not only do you have the massive 12-inch touchscreen, we also have the digital gauge display as well, which shows you the inside of your F-150 with seatbelt information. The tach goes to 6,200, speedometer goes to 120. The adjustments are on the right side. As far as the adjustments here, we're looking at our fuel economy. We can go back, trip and fuel, my view. We also get our trip computers there too, gauges. You can adjust them. You can also adjust the off-road information, towing, status, navigation, phone, audio, maintenance, and settings. My personal favorite to look at all times would be the fuel economy, so we will leave it there. We also have a gear we're currently in, up top coolant temperature, oil pressure, and the fuel level to the right. The rest of the steering wheel controls include volume and skip on the right side. You can hang up and answer your phone calls, voice commands, lane keep assist, and cruise control. Just hard plastic for the horn area. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People will definitely be getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. No dual panes, but it's a thick single pane of glass. I like the trim outlining of these air vents too. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, satisfying click for the turn signal stocks. The gear selector for this STX is a column shifter. The backup camera, let's check it out. Super high resolution. We get guidance lines and trajectory with parking sensors out rear. We can also check out a different view. Not quite sure why you'd want to look at it like this, but if you do want to look at it like that, it is available for you. We throw right back into park. We also have manual shift controls on the gear selector. To the left, the steering wheel. We have our fog lights, auto headlamps, interior brightness. We have our in-bed light too, electronic parking brake, and hopefully you get a good look at the pedals. I mentioned the tilt and telescoping steering wheel, just hard plastic for the dashboard. Got to go to the higher trims to get a padded dashboard. We get auto engine start stop. You can disable, access our parking cameras at all times for one reason or another, hazards, and you can turn off the traction control. More air vents in the center. We get standard navigation here on this 12-inch touchscreen. The response is unbelievable, just like an iPhone. Audio, phone, favorites, apps, settings, and features with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as you see right over there. Beneath that, volume and skip with shortcuts. We don't get automatic climate control, air vent controls with the temperature adjustment on the right side. Drive mode selector, we get normal, tow haul, eco, sport, slippery, and trail. We'll start the review off in normal, transition to sport, and just see what the differences are. We get a holder right here for a bracket, USB-A and C ports with a ton of storage all throughout the center area with additional storage underneath. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. The armrest is gushy soft leather with white contrast stitching. The storage space in here is also massive. We get a coin slot, nice area for business cards, more car accessories. You'll fit probably a 6-pack of 2-liter bottles of soda. You may fit 7 or 8 in there. It's an absolutely massive amount of interior space in that center console armrest. We get this 2-tier glove box. This first tier says F-150. It doesn't have a lid, but you'll still probably fit at least a shoe, probably a pair of shoes. In this actual glove box, you'll easily fit a pair of shoes, probably 15 to 20 license plates. We can shut it right up. We don't get a frameless or auto dimming rear view mirror. You got to pull this flappy thing to dim it, but it still gives you a pretty solid visibility out of the rear. The interior lights are LED. We get a sunglass holder, no fifth opening window, and no panoramic moonroof, but sub 50K. This is still a really impressive interior. I can't wait to take this truck out for a drive and just see how it performs. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So the top of the door panel up front was hard plastic, so to be expected that it is out rear as well. But we get a very soft padded leather armrest, the latch to open up the door, not an auto one-touch window, but it's still a power window. You'll fit a 24-ounce water bottle with 2 tiers of storage. You'll fit a 32-ounce water bottle there, 12 to 14-inch sub with a 6-inch sub right in front of it. Additional one of your speakers. The rear seats still get that green contrast stitching. They're just cloth, but you can also lift them up, access a flat floor. You'll fit a twin-size sleeping bag back here with no problems. So if your wife kicks you out of the house, you will have somewhere to sleep in the back of your F-150 STX with a roof over your head. Taking a step inside, we can pull this latch. Overall legroom, I have over a foot. Headroom, I have about 3 inches. So if you're under 6'8", 6'9", you'll sit in the back of an F-150 STX with no problem. We get mat pockets behind both of the front seats. Air vents, that's an appreciated feature for a base. 12-volt with some charging ports, 2 USB-C ports down below. 2 cup holders, nice little slot for a phone or a wallet. We don't get a center cubby armrest, unfortunately, but that's about it for the back seat. The interior lights are LED with hooks for a suit or a dress. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all new facelifted 2024 Ford F-150 STX. It is a really well loaded truck, especially considering a sub $50,000 base price. We haven't reviewed the 2.7 liter EcoBoost on this channel yet, so speaking of that, let's take this 2024 Ford F-150 STX with the 2.7 out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, though, the steering feels very well weighted. The ride quality feels unbelievably plush. The throttle response, too, with this 2.7 liter EcoBoost, surprisingly peppy. Once you're actually at speed, yeah, the steering does lighten up tremendously. Brakes have a solid amount of bite. Take a step out of here. Good response, about third throttle, good torque. Whew. Where's my mind going over here? Wow, all day the driver is just all over the place. But yeah, the torque is really good. All right, guys, real world turning radius is very sharp for a pickup. Let's see what we got offline, kinda. Ooh, roasting them, but there is a lot of power. Whew. Brakes feel good. Yeah, guys, I could definitely see 0 to 60 happening under 6 seconds if you get a good launch. Taking a step out here, the visibility is also really good. I like how Ford cuts out the door panels a little bit extra to give you a little bit more visibility down below. Through the turn, feels solid, good low-end torque to be expected with a beefy twin-turbo V6, which is just a smaller twin-turbo V6. The 3.5 does feel a lot stronger, but check this out. Even this 2.7 on the gas, boost, oh, like it's really not a whole lot slower compared to the 3.5. It definitely doesn't feel a whole lot slower than the 5.0. Obviously the 5.0 sounds way cooler. It'll probably be a little bit more reliable in the long term, but if all you really care about is the cheapest way to get to 0 to 60 under 6 seconds, this 2.7 is the way to go. Isolation from the road, cruising along on concrete pavement. I don't hear any road noise, wind noise. You hear a tiny bit more compared to the models with dual panes, but relatively speaking, it is a really quiet interior. Compared to my Ram Bighorn, this truck does feel like it drives a little bit smaller, not by much. Ride quality is comparable. I think the D60 series sidewall tires absorb the bumps a little tiny bit better than the 55 series sidewalls that my Ram Bighorn has. Moving along about third throttle, the torque is just unbelievable in this truck. And once you get to higher speeds, yeah, you do start to hear the wind noise a little bit more, but still, for a sub $50,000 pickup, this is a lot of vehicle for the money. We can try it out in sport mode, see what changes up. My first impressions in sport. Steering gets a tiny bit heavier. The transmission, wow. I don't know if you guys saw that on camera. That turkey or whatever just almost lost its life to that Honda CR-V in front of us. But okay, sport mode. The revs automatically increase. We lose a gear, we lose at least our overdrive gear. Let's see what the steering feels like in this turn. Brakes feel the same. Steering gets a little bit heavier, but not by much. Body roll's good. Half throttle, more sensitive. Woo! And you get more of an induction note, which I think is artificial. The bug just ran. What is going on out here today? But yeah, we get more of an induction note when we're in sport mode. It's probably artificial, but it does sound really good. We can try out a real world turning radius test. See if we can make it here in this F-150. Looks like we can. And we can try one out off the line. We're not just going to floor it because as we see, it will definitely roast the tires. But I'll try to get a good launch off the line on the gas. Let's go. Woo! Wow. This thing rips. Brakes feel good. Steering feels good. For a basic truck, I mean, I've said it countless times throughout this review. I don't know if you're going to get a better vehicle sub 50,000 bucks. Taking a step out here, we can lean into it about a third of the way. Daily acceleration. And it's still super strong. We're in sport mode, so it's a little bit snappier and a little bit more aggressive than it would be in the normal mode. Let's try it out in eco and see what changes up. We'll slow down a little bit. Try one out about half throttle. It's less sensitive, but honestly, that's more than powerful enough. For daily driving, I would actually recommend using eco mode, especially if you're going to go with a two-wheel drive model, because with two-wheel drive, if you use too much throttle, especially in sport mode where the throttle is more sensitive, you will spin the tires more than you'd probably want to. But in eco mode, it dulls the throttle down just enough to where you get a nice wafting sensation of speed without feeling overly aggressive, and off the line that will probably save your tires at least 5,000 to 10,000 miles of overall life. But overall, guys, I know I've said it countless times throughout this review, sub 50K, you're not getting a better truck than this. Compared to the Chevy vehicles, this is a better power plant in my opinion compared to a 5.3. Definitely a better power plant compared to Chevy's 2.7, and I think I would even take this 2.7 over Chevy's Duramax. The only engine from Chevy trucks lineup that I would prefer over this EcoBoost would be their 6.2, because that thing gives you that badass sound that the 5.3 gives you while actually giving you some power behind it as well. But this 2.7 gives you a lot of power. I'd 100% recommend taking this over a non-Hemi equipped Ram. Those new Rams are going to be very, very powerful, but with their first generation of their Hurricane engines in the Ram 1500s, I know they had a little bit of experience putting it into the Wagoneer last year, but relatively speaking, compared to this EcoBoost that's been around for 10 years, compared to the 3.5 that's been around for 15 years, it's just not nearly as proven as a power plant. If you're going to go with a sub $50,000 truck, but you want some power to go along with it, this 2024 Ford F-150 STX with the 2.7 is probably the best you're going to get. And a big thanks to Chris and the rest of the management and staff here at AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the West Florida area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Chris, and a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.